Hey everyone, before we dive right into the action, I just wanted to let you know that all the opening theory used in this series can be found in my latest London System course, will be the first link in the description. Alright, getting the white pieces, you know what's coming. Gonna be playing it with a knight on the second move, that is the best move order in my opinion, and it is either gonna be a Chigorin or a copycat, I'm telling you. So they either develop the knight or the bishop there, that is for sure. Or bishop g4 also. But we're gonna be playing e3. It's Chigorin with the two knights out. And they basically have two plans. Bishop outside the pawn chain or bishop inside the pawn chain. Okay, opponent going for a6. To be honest, that is not really part of the course. I think he's mainly trying to stop any like Jobava London players from getting their knight to b5. And okay, against this, I would probably just play knight bd2. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna keep these sort of typical for the course strategy. So in the videos, I'm usually saying that uh, when they play these lines, well, I think I'm saying in the course actually that whenever they delay developing the knight, that we go for the c4 plan. But now that they have no pressure in the center and they have wasted pretty important tempo, I think here it's a great position to play c4 and just strike in the center and go for knight c3. Because otherwise, yeah, it wouldn't have been that simple. But okay, could have played c3 as well, get a game, but I think c4 just works much better here, especially when they do this. Typically, opponents will combine these with like knight b4, but can simply go rook c1 in that position. And okay, on knight b4, maybe queen a4 check could be interesting, but I don't think it's... I'm like not sure it's good, because after we pick up the knight, there might be e5 move, hitting my queen and this bishop. So usually just rook c1 is good enough, covering the c2 square. Can pick the knight back, and when they don't get what they want with this fork, pretty unfortunate for black in these lines. This is also like mentioned in the course, because they literally always, according to the statistics, black always tries some cheap trick like this in the bishop f5 and knight c6 lines, and can easily deal with it by playing rook c1 or queen a4 if they do this earlier. But yeah, now they basically have no play, can get rid of the knight. And okay, when they do go for captures, there's a threat of check on d3, so I'm gonna be taking back. Same idea to push a3, we can castle short, go queen e2, rook fd1, and push in the center with e4. That would be like the main plan now. So will be interesting to see what our opponent will play with knight d5. I'm more used to play these positions when you know, there's like the knight coming back to c6. And okay, against this, if we go back, there's a fork, so we just need to avoid that and step back to e2. And castling next, we have everything under control. Can play like a3, get rid of the knight like anytime, basically. Whenever they play knight d5, I think we may be keeping the tension and just play bishop g3. Sort of allow them to take, because I don't want to be taking on d5 immediately. But yeah, the point is if we take there, he's going to have ideas to go for like a bishop check. So just going to be castling for now at least. And if they do bishop d6, that is a pretty interesting position. I think I'm gonna go for a thematic trick and I'm gonna do bg5 with the idea to go e4, e5 and win a piece. This is actually a common theme that we have in the Chigorin, which is mentioned in my course. And now we can go for the trade. And now after queen takes, there is this thematic fork that pretty much everyone allows. So bishop has to move and then we get to win a piece. So basically, just win the game thanks to this thematic idea. I think this is also both mentioned in the theory chapter plus in the thematic maneuvers chapter. from the course. Just answering bishop d6. This only happens, notice, this is not super common for standard London lines, but when we play with c4 break, this is usually what we have in the Chigorin. When they do bishop d6, we go bishop g5. This is just standard reaction for Chigorin, I would say, after we break with c4. And now we just get to win the piece. Sometimes we get to win the pawn. Both keys is definitely very helpful. So after bishop takes, cash in the piece, hitting both pieces, could go a3, hitting the knight. And now we're just gonna start massive exchanges, basically. Not really interesting in anything else. Just wanna exchange all the pieces. I'm thinking about the way to like centralize with 95. Maybe try to activate this bishop on the long diagonal. Okay, we see queen f4. Opponent hoping for some checkmate, which is not gonna be happening. Just gonna be taking. And your opponent takes with a queen. They have this idea to bring the knight around, I think. So, do we actually care about that pawn? Let's just play a3. I care about my pawns. Maybe too much. So just gonna go a3, get rid of this guy, and I think we can maybe actually follow it up with queen c2, queen c6. Assuming they go there, this could be an idea to get rid of the queens. Also on like knight d5, we could do bishop d3, bishop e4, and just instantly trade knights. Yeah, so okay, against this, maybe d5 makes sense, opening up the position. 95 also kind of tempting hitting his knight, but I think I'm gonna keep this, offering a little bait. Trying to see if they are gonna be taking the poison pawn. And in case of castle, just bishop e4 kind of crashing. Oh, they're going for the poison pawn. That's pretty funny because now it looks like maybe we wanted to grab these, but we can go for the discovery. And because of the check, we have opened up queen's path, and now we're able to take advantage of the undefended queen. So, yeah. Being up a piece, definitely up a queen feels even nicer. Rook to d8, cashing in another pretty juicy pawn. And yeah, like rook f8 only move, rook coming over to c7, maybe even more precise to do. Rook fd1 if you'd ask me. Probably will do that. And okay, opponent finds the resign button and we managed to get this one in. What do you mean with G capture? Was there like, yeah, G capture, sure. He was supposed to do that. No doubt about that. Not to like lose the piece. But okay, where do they castle now? And plus, can do stuff like e4 for sure. Maybe like e4 right away. Actually, you know what? Maybe this is tempting. Hitting bishop, assuming this is like only move, but now maybe bishop h5 looks kind of strong. Not super standard, maybe simple bishop f3 is good. Rook a3, and to me it looks like they have no good square. Like maybe they could go there and we could take, not force, because there is this little trick, but could maybe do a move such as maybe bishop g4, hitting the rook. Rook has to go back, let's say. And then a move that I would like to do is, you know, we would love to put our knight on f5, but he can take. So maybe just bishop first. Exchange this guy, so we could get the knight unchallenged, and maybe queen coming around. I mean, material is equal, but this is definitely crashing because there are too many weaknesses. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for making it this far into the video. But before I let you go, I just wanted to highlight that the main idea that won us this game is actually mentioned dozens of times inside the course. Yes, in our game, the position was slightly different because my opponent went for a slightly offbeat line. But typically, you're going to be getting into these same structures where the ideas just remain the same and you can apply them in many ways. And here you can see another common example from this Chigorin defense when we have played for c4. And now we do end up meeting bishop d6 with the same bishop g5 idea. And here we're just gonna be following the main trainable that we have, which goes h6. And after bishop takes, queen takes e4, hit the bishop, bishop g4, e5. You see how white is able to just win a piece right away with a famous opening trap that we have in the course. So if you're interested to check out the course, you can get the Move Trainer technology and also the book format that you can see. This can also be used as a trainable. So if we go back into the chapters, head over the Chigorin, and we start practicing the lines for less than 30 bucks now on an introductory sale, we get to practice against the computer here, and can easily get to memorize all these patterns for only getting the cheap version, which is less than 30 bucks, as I was saying, which in my opinion is like pretty good value. You get to win games just by winning the piece here, as we've seen in the Chigorin. And one of the nice things about the Move Trainer technology is that you can actually customize it to your own taste, and it also will focus on the points where you go wrong. So for instance, if here end up making the move bishop g3, okay, this is marked as an alternative, meaning it's not that bad. But let's say we play like bishop e5, just to for the sake of seeing what happens if we go for a wrong move. Now, basically, when we get to practice, you'll notice that the chessable algorithm will basically force us review that variation. So we're gonna go for it one more time because the default setting is to repeat the line 3 times. We're gonna be winning the piece, and now you see that it gets us to that main position where we have played bishop e5 as an incorrect move. So the algorithm wants to make sure that we got this idea and we focus on the main move, which is bg5. It's gonna ask us to play it many times until we get it, and that is basically we get to practice using the Move Trainer technology. So if you're interested to check out the main course, you can click on this little thing that will appear on the screen. And I'd like to really thank you for watching this video. That's here on the channel. Take care.